Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the WE2R Liberians Movement platform, your distinct and dynamic platform that speaks to and for the masses. We are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. Rather, we are in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people, not only in Liberia, but even around the world. Again, this is your one and only, the dynamic and distinct platform, the WE2R Liberians Movement platform that speaks to for the masses. We are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. Rather, we are in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people, not only in Liberia, but even around the world. So if you're tuning, I ask that you begin to share this live to as many people as possible. If you are going to be watching with us, watching or viewing this show, I ask that you begin to share this video to as many people as possible. And for those of you who are going to subsequently watch this movie, or this video, I ask that you please share this live to as many people as possible. The Bible says, so a man think of himself, so is he. So I'm asking that we all just kind of try to do our best as much as possible to ensure that everyone, at least get this live, and also each one help one. Hopefully they'll be able to share this live to other people there as much as possible, or as many as possible. Again, welcome to the WE2R Liberians Movement platform, your one and only distinct platform that is in the business of changing the mindset, changing the thought process. Today is October 19th, 2023. I am your host, Ayiti Williams. Again, please begin to share the live. This is about changing the mindset. This is about changing lives. This is about revolution the thought process of our people. This is about raising the consciousness. This is about opening the eyes of the blind. Encouraging the dumb now to become the ones that will be speaking for those who cannot speak, and things of that nature. First and foremost, I would like to extend high commendation and exceeding gratitude to Stanton Waterspoon. We know for the tremendous job, well done. Just allowing the citizens to use his platform to disseminate or to get the information out there as in a timely manner as election was being held. It almost seems to me that we are back to where we started, but I mean, the citizens. I can tell you for a fact that you spoke very well. You spoke highly, and you exercised your democracy, and I'm pretty sure that what you did kind of resonate with our people, and I strongly believe that you guys are trying to recalibrate now to go back and be able to just do what you did, and maybe do even more than what you did, and that will be expected of you. If you want that change, if you want to see that change in Liberia, it's up to you now to rise up, stand up, put on your full garment, and go back and be ready to cast your vote. Come whatever schedule they're going to put out there, But what I want to do today is, to kind of give a little background about what the WE2R Liberians Movement platform or this movement is all about. Because I know a lot of people are asking, they call me here and there and they're asking me, what is this movement all about? And so, I want to share with you that the movement, usually when I start, I say a movement is about changing, the thought process. We speak is an advocacy group. We have no political side. We have no political alignment. We span tribal lines, and we're about raising the consciousness of our people. It's about changing lives. It's about desensitizing our people and things of that nature. Pretty much the movement mission is to educate and cultivate good, strong, upright, honest women and men, who are sensitive to the sufferings, the injustices, the wrongs of society, and are willing to accept those responsibilities for ensuring that they are corrected. And also our vision not only to be a movement of choice, but also to ensure that Liberia becomes that country of choice amongst its counterparts. So that's in a nutshell, that's what this particular movement is all about. And so if you're interested, just call, come on board. We're willing to, accept every and anyone. Just come as you are. It's not about your economic or social status. It's not about your academic credentials or what you have achieved, what you have amassed. It's just about the masses. It's about changing the thought process of our people to ensure that they are raised from that from the pit, because we know that our people have been conditioned. And what we want to do is we want to change the trajectory to ensure that our people are raised from the dead, where they can come back now and make decisions for themselves. Because it's obvious that our people have been locked up in chain. You have one group of people, want to be up there and to have other people, at the lower spectrum where, they can receive handout. And what we want to do is to create an avenue where our people now will begin to think outside the box, where they will be able to think independently, where we won't have people, to sway, use whether the pen, paper, or to use cash violence to sway their imagination. The objective is to ensure that our people are the mind and the thought process, the minds and the thought process are changed, where then they'll begin to think independently. They'll begin to just be able to independently do things on their own based on their thought process, and that's what it's about. So the WE2R Liberians movement is here to encourage, is here to educate, is here to desensitize, is here to change the narrative. You can be anything if you want. You can be a doctor, a lawyer, you can be an engineer, you can be a sociologist, you can be an entrepreneur, you can be a janitor. It doesn't matter who you become. You can be anything, but just be the best version of that which you have chosen to be. And so that's why the movement is about. And also this movement also intends to also target the youth. And I think a particular focus of the WE2 movement is or will be focused on the youth. And that's why we're trying to target the socially conscious 20 or 50, young men. Those babies, I think, have not even been born yet. We're going to target them. We're going to ensure that they're training to become the leaders that will take over that country maybe in the next 15, 20 years. From now. To start today's edition of the show, I just wanted to kind of throw light on what the WE2R Liberians movement is about. It's not about tribe. It's not about your economic, your social status. It's not about what you drive. It's not about where you live. Because we understand that greater is He that is in you and than he that's in the world. A lot of us, we've been confused, and we're trying to compete. Don't worry about that. Just build yourself up, because you know what? If you, the book says, if you seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, all things will be added. Same thing, If you strive to educate yourself, to build your human capacity, and that education is not necessarily, going to get a college degree. You can learn whatever. Ralph Embassy once said, in a lecture back in 1871, he said, if a man can write a better book, preach a better sermon, build a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he builds his house in the wood, the word is going to make a beating path to his door. And so that's what it's all about. It's about changing the mindset. It's about, building your human capacity, building your human resources, or your human resource. If you can build yourself up, you can fit anywhere. And that's what we're trying to do for Liberia. Liberia, I strongly believe like Liberia is gonna be brought up. But how can that happen until the mindset of our people changes? And so, having said all of that, I'm gonna try to get right into our topic. Today's topic would be a topic that we talked about several weeks ago. Sometime last week in the house, try to clarify, because we have to go back to these polls and cast our votes. You know what I mean? And electing into office, that one person who will be sensitive to the wrongs, to the injustices of our people, and one that will ensure that our people have affordable health care, one who will ensure that our people be given quality education, one who will ensure that our people will be have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We'll have to break it down, the pursuit of happiness. People, you will be able to reach your full potential. You will be able to, at least, even if because life, one thing I said before, we were poor, but we were happy. Once we became westernized, then we got vicious. You want to drive the Bentley, you want to drive the Range Rover, you want to drive it. There's nothing wrong with driving those things. There's nothing wrong with acquiring wealth. But if we're doing it at the expense of our people, then it becomes a problem. And that's why, personally, I think that Liberia's problem is not corruption. It's not. I would say, it's not the lack of education. Maybe that could be a problem. We would say the lack of education could be a problem. But what I think is the fact that the guy who has a PhD and the guy who sells in the marketplace, our thought process is the same level. And not in a positive direction. So what we're trying to do here is to ensure that, we change the mindsets of our people, that you will begin to see yourself at a different glance. You don't have to be me. I don't have to be you. You know what I mean? But I could be the best version of me, where I build myself to not steal from you, and likewise you yourself will not steal from me. The Greek philosopher again says, because we are back at the same place, we got to go back to those polls to be able to elect into office that person who can liberate the country. And also, one thing we have to consider also the people around that individual. But that individual has to be a person who has integrity, that person who has empathy, that person who there's a whole stuff, other things that we have to take into consideration as a people. And if we don't do that, I think we'll be making some bad decisions. Look at what happened. We're talking about the southeastern region. We're talking about Nimba, Lofa, and this and that. Should we be voting based on tribes? No, we're not supposed to be doing that. Should we be voting based on tribal region? No, we're not supposed to be. We should be voting based on the issues. We should be voting, and that's why I hear people talking about this person, you're a Gisi person or you're a Bassa person, and you're voting for someone, from maybe Nimba, or voting for someone from Bowling Hills or Bone County. I think we should be voting based on the actual issues that are happening. And if we can do that, Liberia will become a better place. Excuse me for that. And those are the things that we, when it comes to the education, I think we have some time now to be able to educate our people. Don't sell your birthright. Don't allow anyone to come to you with dollar here, or $200 and $300, even $1,000. $10,000, $20,000 at the expense of your people. Let us look at the long term. And that's why I'm going to talk about redistributing the pain today. And then we'll go back to no room for excuses. Because why? We need to be free. We need to be free. You need to be free. You guys are locked up in chains. We are locked up in chains. How can we do that if we're still stuck up in the same mindset? If we're not thinking about how we can liberate ourselves, how we can free ourselves. How do I say for the very ordinary Omar who was sitting there at the marketplace or sitting there, in her little zinc shop, so that she can understand it. So that the son, who someone in West Point or maybe someone in Yucatan, you can be able to help your Oma understand. Please take this video to the Oma and let us know that, so that she can know that. No, she does not have to make the decision based on the fact that she's getting a handout. And that's what we're talking about. I know it's easy to talk about when tomorrow you'll have to get your daily bread or you'll have to get some kind of meal. But those are the sacrifices that we'll have to make for the future of our children, for the future of the people that will come after. And that's why you have to go back. We have to go back. I mean, they'll have to raise the resources now so that you guys can be able to go back to cast your ballots or cast your vote for the candidate that's the most competent and the most qualified. That's something we'll have to think about. But until you can sit down now and begin to recalibrate and reassess and rethink the decision, you continue to make the same mistake. Let us not make those decisions based on those things that I talk about. Because he helped your sister pay tuition. He help your brother pay his tuition. One senator or one representative is doing that. We will go back to talk about it. Now is your opportunity. Now all they've done to you, you can't even afford a single meal. You can't afford to send your kids to school. You cannot even afford to transport yourself medically when you are ill. You don't have good hospitals. All of those things you got to think about. Your nephews, your cousins, they have been reduced to drug addicts. All of those things. If you think about that now, going back, because you know what? Think about the numbers now. So we'll have to go back to go and cast our votes. We'll have to go back and cast our ballots. When you go back to the poll, don't get tired, don't get weary. Unfortunately, because of ignorance, we find ourselves in the same position. So we have to go back. It's not finished until it is finished. It is not over until it is over. I tell you a true life story about a guy trapped between time and eternity. Scene was in Athens, Greece, where the entire global village had gathered to watch the openings of the Centennial Olympics. 72 nations were in attendance at that great Coliseum. The hour after all of the lights were being turned off, after everyone was now going to the respective places of rest, after the well-wishers, participants they've gotten on their vans and have now gone to the respective places of rest. There was one runner, I think I said the story before, who was still trying to come into the games. They had sports reporters there, some was standing there laughing and jeering and talking about, why is it's been 3 hours after the games. Why is he trying to come into the games? The guy was described as having a gash in his knee. Blood was trickling from his elbow. But he still staggers into the game. And finally, when he got to the finish line, the sports reporter took a microphone and stuck it to his mouth and said, why is it's been 3 hours after the game, after everyone has now gone to the respective places of rest? Why are you still trying to come to the game? He said, I am a runner from Tanzania. He looked right into the camera and said that. I'm a runner from Tanzania. I did not come 7,000 miles to start a race, but I have come 7,000 miles to finish the race. And so wherever you have come with this whole electoral process, wherever you have not come to start a race. You've come to finish the race. And until we can elect one into office, especially the one who's going to change your life, who is going to make sure you have affordable, housing, you have good roads, you have, good and safe drinking water, you have electricity, you can establish your own business, you can grow your own crop, you can sell your own market, there's security, there's business, there's opportunity, your children are going to quality schools, all that stuff you have to consider. So you have not coming now to start a race. And that's why we talk about redistributing the pain. So the only thing you can do now, I didn't divert, but I had to give you that story. But I want you to know that the opportunity that you have now is to go back. Go back. It doesn't matter if you are from the southeastern region, or you're from Nimba, or you're from Bassa. Let's span this whole tribal thing. You have an opportunity to reshape and then rewrite history so that you can have a share in the part of that national cake. Don't cast your vote based on that. Go there. You know what I mean? Those people that have afflicted you, that have thrown, your way, the pain, the agony, it's time now for you to go in the ballot box. Last time I was saying, and I think it was last month, maybe last Monday, or it was just maybe last Monday, because it's been 10 days. I was talking about how they don't have factories, they don't have businesses, they don't have banks that you can say, I'm not putting my money in the bank. Or they're not merchants. They're not people who have these big businesses like the Lebanese people used to say, what, we're not buying anything from them. We're not buying the Coca-Cola. We're not buying the Fanta or whatever, So the only thing you can do now is to go over there, go at the poll, you know what I mean? Go there, sit there, no one's looking at you, and make sure that you know who exactly you are voting for. You vote for that person who is sensitive to the wrongs, who cares about you, who wants to see you grow, who wants to see you become better. That's that person you're going to cast your vote for. But the one who wants to see you down, they're talking about the money laundering. They're talking about, the extrajudicial killing and all of that. They're talking about, ritualistic killing and all of that. Your children are not safe. You're not even safe. Look, on a normal condition, are you supposed to be going to bed early? You're supposed to have security in your country where if you want to go out, you go out whenever you want to go. You come home whenever you want to come. And there's security. People are there to protect you, protect the lives of your people, protect the lives of the children, protect the lives of everyone. But you live in a country where, people are not safe. There's no jobs. There's no shelter. Those basic needs you don't have. And so what this movement is trying to push the idea that you can see the reality for yourself to make perfect choice, because you don't want to put yourself in the same situation. Don't worry about whether or not the person is Bassa, the person is Screw, the person is Gribble, the person is Crumb, or whatever tribe that person is. Vote your conscience, based on the truth. Let it come from a place of truth. Come from a place of sincerity. That's what it's all about. People have used, the pen and paper they use, cash violence, the sway your mind. Look at some of the people that you've elected, re-elected into office. Is that change? Is that the change that you want? Is that the change that you want? You got to think about it. It doesn't matter where we are. Just because we're here, maybe I'm in America, I'm not better than you. We can make Liberia to be what we want her to be. Like I said the last time, your medical school, at one point in time, was one of the best medical schools. Even your law school was one of the best law schools you think about. So we don't want to continue to keep ourselves being oppressed by the oppressor. This is the perfect time and opportunity that we have. There's no room for excuse. There's no reason why you will not make a perfect decision to emancipate yourself or to get yourself from the pit so that you can rise and be able to live your full potential. We need that one person, but you have the right. It is from you that it is from the choices that you will make that will be able to determine who will be the next president or the next leader or who will stay. So you got to sit down now. But think about it. Your relatives have been killed. This whole ritualistic killing. You've been deprived of your rights. And all that stuff. So those are things that you have to think about. Think about your safety. You have to think about the people that are behind you. You really have to think about that. Let us not be about yourself. A lot of us today where we are, we are where we are because people help us. People help us get to where we are. And we want to ensure that our way of giving back to you is to educate you, is to make sure that we are pointing you in the right direction so that you cannot make decisions that will not only affect you, but also affect your people that are behind you. And that's why I say there is no more room for excuse. We're going to try to resound this over and over again. And hopefully it's going to resonate with you. You know what I mean? You now, each one help one. You will be able to teach your children. You'll be able to teach your neighbor. You have to go. It starts in the home. It goes to your community. It goes to the church. It goes to the workplaces. I want you to take this serious. Do not allow that person, do not be influenced by any tribal influence. Don't be influenced by people that will be giving you, handouts here and there. You can be the boss too. You know what I mean? You can be up there and make a decision. And only if you vote into office that right person who will seek your interest. And that's what it's all about, and so the way you can do it, like I said, to redistribute this pain is to go now and vote that person out or not vote for that person. It's the simplest way, and that's what the movement is trying to pitch here so that you can get it, you can understand it. So when it come on, or whenever that day is going to be scheduled for you to go back and vote, you'll be able to redistribute that pain. And there's no room. There was a lady who called on the Spoon Network, and she it's tough. It's difficult. I understand that. But we have to make every effort. We have to strive to make every effort to ensure that we are going to those polls and we are making perfect decisions. Look at how you turn out. Don't just go to those rallies, to have fun or to be seen. You got your children behind you. You got your relatives behind you. Some of us will leave. Think about the Civil War. That country been around since it was founded 1822. Gained our independence 1847. Up to 1979. We had the coup. And then think about it, 1989, 89 to somewhere around 2004. So we have to sit down and think about all these things. We don't want that to happen. We want to have someone who has empathy, someone who is patriotic, someone who loves the country, someone who is transparent, who wants to see you grow, who wants to see the entire country come up. So you can have better roads, you can have better hospital, you can have quality education, you know what I mean? All the good stuff. And it's possible because you know what? Each one help one. But we have to educate our children. We have to educate one another. Because we want to make sure that's the only way that country is going to. Look at Rwanda. Look at Ghana. Look at Sierra Leone. It's possible. Look at Nigeria. I mean, those are countries. The Ivory Coast is right next to you. Why would you drive? You want to go to Grand Judith. Why you have to go into Ivory Coast before you can go into Grand Judith? You know what I mean? Maybe you want to go to Lofa, but you have to go to Sierra Leone before you can go to Lofa. Those are things that we have to think about, and that's why you have to think critically about the people behind you before you even cast your vote. And I know I don't know if this is not part of the topic, but I wanna also speak to those who are in authority. Like the likes of the next chairman or chair lady, whoever she is, Mistress Brown. You have a responsibility. Liberia's struggle now is evil versus good. Any nation whose bad outweighs is good, God sends a decree of death on that nation. So stop playing with the future of our children. You got to stop playing with the future of our unborn babies. We are sick and tired of wars. We are sick and tired of the hypocrisy, all the diabolical behavior. It has to stop. The witchcraft and all of that. There's a lot of people behind that country being plummeted, that country being placed in the trash can, that country being held back. For those of you, even some of you who got the Nobel Prize or whatever, we're trying to stay neutral, but we need to. For example, Madam Salih, hopefully you can come up and say something. Do you want to see this country being trashed? Do you want to see this country fall apart? And I just think that's exactly what a lot of these people want to see. Some of them want to see to ensure that country, just because you are not in government now, so the government should fail. I'm not trying to go all over the place. I'm going to stay on our topic. I just had to say that. You guys will have to stop playing with the future of our children. Stop playing with the future of our unborn babies. Stop playing with the future of our children. That's the message, But you have an opportunity to go now and to go and redistribute the pain at the ballot box, as you cast your vote. Like I said, they don't have factories. They don't have, stores. They don't have businesses. All they do, they embezzle, they steal, and they reach themselves. They're not building. Why you build a hospital and don't train, don't train qualified people, qualified doctors or professionals to run those hospitals? But you know what? You amass for yourself million, and when you get sick, your family member gets sick, you travel outside. It makes no sense. We want to make sure that we have state-of-the-art hospitals. We have quality roads, our national roads. We have our inter-county roads. We have our municipal roads. We have subdivisions. We have national parks. We have recreation centers. We have good complexes. Our people can live in harmony. They can enjoy themselves. Why? Why would we continue to have our people, living in abject poverty? And that's what it is. So when you go back, whatever day is going to be scheduled for re-election, make sure you're redistributing the pain. Those people that threw all of the pain, agony in your way, it is your opportunity to do so. There's more room for excuse. No room for excuse. There's no reason why you should not be able to go now and cast your vote. Let us recalibrate. Let's relax. Let us think about the issues. Don't worry about what tribe the next guy is. Don't worry about, which church he or she goes to. What social group you guys are part of. But whatever you do let it be about the masses. Let it actually be about the entire country collectively. And if we could do that, Liberia will be better. We'll be able to live in harmony. You'll be able to acquire those things that, God has destined for you, because God plans for all of us. It's so that, we'll have an expected end. Not so that we will suffer. Not so that we're living in pain and agony through our lives. And so that's why when you go, you have to be able to redistribute that pain. I'm not trying to be random. I have to stay on the topic and redistribute the pain. Your opportunity to do that, and the only way you can do it, do out of the ballot box. If you're not reaching your full potential, you cannot live in your own country, and you don't reach your full potential. You have been reduced to beggars. You have been reduced. Some of you cannot even afford food before you talk about clothing and shelter. But don't reduce yourself to those things, because you are here for things that are even greater than that. And so, I want to thank all of the viewers. This was not a show that was planned for an expose or this and that, to kind of serenade you, but just to re-encourage you, to show you that it is still possible. I think this is the perfect opportunity for us. You saw what happened in the southeastern region there, and they said a place that's inaccessible, but all of the people from the southeastern region voted for the ruling party. And the same going down to the Nima County. I don't think we should do that, for Boca, whoever. I think we should be voting based on the facts, voting based on the issues. We have a country that has been torn apart, and what's going on in the country. I mean, this not just start with CDC or the ruling party. It goes back to history. That's the tendency and the tradition. We have to kind of break those traditions so that we can be voting. We can make sure we put someone who has the country out, someone who loves the country, who wants to see the country grow, who wants to see you and everyone else, enjoy the national cake. I just want to thank everyone for watching. This is the WE2R Liberians Movement platform that speaks to and for the masses. We are not in the business of manufacturing players, pimps, and hustlers. Rather, we're in the business of changing and revolutionizing the thought process of our people, not only in Liberia, but even around the world. I mean, we're working on our schedule, because of our personal obligation, job and things like that. There's a lot of topics that we have, and I want you to look out for topics like, what does it mean to be a Liberian? The realignment and reconstruction. What's relevant or what's necessary? You know, that country has to be either realigned or maybe we need reconstruction. You know what I mean? But I know we have to sit back and think about the finances and then the resources. But we need strategies, you know what I mean? Or God, we have a lot of learned individuals that are outside the country, you know, people that have learned, have acquired some experience that hopefully they can come back and contribute and give back. And we also have people in that country that are smart, educated, and then we can use all of our, you know what I mean, our human resources, our human capacity, you know what I mean, and what we have acquired, we be able to get back to that country, you know, and build that country and make the country a better place. Again, this is the WE2R Liberians Movement platform. I've been your host, Ayiti Williams. You know, I look forward to seeing you here. You know, as soon as we can get our schedule set up, hopefully, you know, we'll see based on the schedule of our partners and you know, the architects behind this whole movement. We'll be coming out here to furnish you with information. Again, I want to extend gratitude again to the Spoon Network for a tremendous job, well done. You know, just ensuring that information was being disseminated, you know, throughout the electoral process, you know, election process, you know, where and I think that to kind of really help with the whole process, and that's why we're hopefully maybe that's why we're going to the second round. Otherwise, the election would have been chaos, you know what I mean? And people would have died. But we want to thank God that it didn't get to that point. So we still have an opportunity to come back now, you know, and put our conscience and make sure we're doing it for our children. You know, we're doing it for our children. Consider time, you know, the past, present, and the future. You have an opportunity. You have a responsibility. For those of you who have acquired all of you know, the accolade in the education, today you have the mass wealth, you have an opportunity to look back now. You know, more applicable is the Lord that upon you to look, reach back and bring those people that are down the pit. Let's educate our people. You know what I mean? Let's strive to change the lives of our people. We have a mandate. You know what I mean? The mandate that's allotted to us. You know what I mean? We cannot. There's no way. Acquire all of the education, the wealth, and all of that. If you're not giving back to your people, then it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? I just, you know, our people, our people got to be free. I want to close my life today with a quote from our sister Maya Angelou. You know, a simple quote. You know, and that comes from her autobiographical memoir. You know, she says, "I know why the cage bird sings." That bird sings, you know why? Because that bird wants to be free. And our people in Liberia, you need to be free. We need to be free. All right? And so come on, whatever that date that's going to be scheduled, make sure you go there overwhelmingly and cast a vote. Vote them out. Redistribute the pen. You know what I mean? No room for excuse. You know, Morehouse College has a fraternity decree that says that, you know, excuses are tools for the competence used to build bridges to nowhere and monuments of nothing else. Thank you for watching. Again, I'm your host. I have been your host, Ayiti Williams. You have a great and you know, good night. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you and to talk to you here in the next few days. Bye.